Hi, my name is Claire. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a Summer Craftsman's Home in The Sims 4. If you're new to my channel, I post weekly Sims 4 videos, and if you want to play in my homes, you can follow me over on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is green_rose_sims. And if you want any information on this house, you can check out the description of the video. Also, while you're down there, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button because I do post weekly videos. And if you have any build suggestions for me, this is the hardest part of making videos for me, is coming up with the ideas and the themes. Make sure to leave them down in the comments so then you can help out and I might build your suggestion. So we are now on the interior of the house. We're working on like this entryway area. I am only going to be using the backyard stuff and the seasons packs for this build, and of course the base game. The base game has a lot of good like filler items. For example, I put some tissues on the counter. I thought that would be just kind of funny if like one of the Sims has like seasonal allergies to like have tissues like right on this entryway table. I feel like having this nice floral tablecloth on this entryway did help with the nice floral and summertime theme. If you do want to see a springtime craftsman cottage, that is a video I did about a month or two ago, and that's on my channel. I thought I would do this for a little bit of a theme or series on my channel. I have done a Christmas Craftsman, so that's technically the Winter Craftsman Home. I've done a Spring Craftsman, and this is the Summer Craftsman Home. And in the fall and autumn, I will do a Fall Craftsman Home. So we are just going to be going and adding a few little more details in this entryway space. The space does have the stairs to lead up to the second level. I just wanted to make this like a nice drop zone area. I like open floor plans, but I feel like personally in real life I want to like invite somebody into my house before they see the entire layout of the house. So I feel like having this like kind of like more separated entryway kind of helps with that feel and that idea. So now we are in the kitchen space, and I do change the colors of the cabinet to be a green. I realize that it is a little bit of light wood on light wood on light wood, and I feel like having a nice fun summer craftsman home does deserve a nice fun vibrant countertops, and so we are just going to be adding a little seating area right here. I was mentioning that this is kind of like the quick grab and go area of the kitchen, but there is a dining room in the front part of the kitchen. So we're just going to be adding a little bit of good decorations in the kitchen. I did want to make sure that your Sims did have enough space to cook and possibly cook together, so this area isn't really scattered throughout the kitchen. It's just kind of in two regular spots, and also having these shelves up here on the counter next to the countertop seating area does help with that clutter because it's not on the counter, but it's still like decorative up here on the counter. So we're just going to be adding all of these little knickknacks up here on the shelving. I used the bb.move objects cheat to freely move these items, and then I used the control 9 key to raise up the items to the location I wanted them. I feel like this area turned out pretty nice. I feel like it helps it be a little bit more personal to the family. So we're just going to be adding a few more books and going to just kind of be doing a little bit more rearranging. I wanted it to like not just be like a bookshelf area on this counter. I wanted it to kind of have a function with like the spices, the salt and pepper, and the pictures of fruit. In ways, I was thinking that those pictures of fruit are just like kind of like the placeholder photos when it comes to like when you buy frames, it's kind of like a random stock photo, but it's random stock photos of fruits. So now we are in the dining room area, and I started off with this large table, and I was thinking like this might be a little bit too large for this space, so I do change it for a smaller table. I do keep the chairs that I used with the bigger table. Yes, I did like the look of the white chairs on the table, so we're just going to be adding a smaller table and kind of going with a light medium wood tone for here to kind of keep with that light bright summer feel with this house. So we're just going to be adding another picture from the seasons pack. I decided to go for the picture with the sun in it because that is what summer is all about. It's fun in the sun, so we're just going to be adding a few items in the kitchen from the backyard day stuff pack, and we're just going to be adding these lemons and limes. I tried to like scatter a few of these items from the backyard stuff throughout the house, but the majority of the backyard stuff is in the backyard, so we're just going to be adding a bird feeder and going to be adding a little lemonade station. I know I probably could have like added that outside, but it felt like it made sense to add it in the dining room area so the lemonade doesn't get sour. So we're just going to be adding a nice bouquet of flowers on the porch. I kind of talked over the porch, but it's a nice simple space back here. So we're just going to be finishing up the porch once we finish the rug decision making and going to be heading back inside the home to add a rug by the dining room or under the dining table. So now we are just going to be finishing up this like little hutch area. You can't really tell, but underneath there's like stacks of plates for your Sims to like easily access their nice chinaware, or maybe they like having meals at the table and it's just easier to get it from the hutch, then like go around into the kitchen. The kitchen is kind of cozy, I do gotta admit that. So we are now going to be adding a small little gallery wall by the back door and going to be making a nice simple space. And now we are in the living room corner. So this is the living room. It is in the back of the house. I decided to use these season couches for the living room back here, along with the side tables and lamps. So now we're going to be adding a coffee table, but I end up using the coffee table more as a TV stand in this area. Kind of like a kitchen, this area is kind of cozy, but in ways I was mentioning that the Sim family that is in this home is enjoying their summer vacation, going on trips, going outside, spending a lot of time outside. So we're just going to be adding a bookshelf by the bathroom, which we are working on now. It's a very simple bathroom. I'm imagining this be like more like the guest bathroom, like if they're Sims are having like a summer barbecue in the backyard. This is like the guest bathroom for like hosting. So we're just going to be adding a few like smelly stuff. I know it's like on like bath salts, but I was mentioning they're like candles and some towels because I do add a splash pad in the backyard. So before we get to the splash pad, we are going to be working on the loft landing space of the home, which has the office area or a computer area up here, and we're just going to be adding all the little usual clutter and going to be adding some pictures. I did keep it pretty simple up here, just with adding a rug. This area is mostly just to get to the bedrooms, but I didn't want to leave this space empty, and I didn't also add any room for a computer spot downstairs. So I feel like having computer up here does make it a little bit more private, but again, if you're having a Sims barbecue or get together, your Sims guests will probably come up here to play some games on the computer. But we are now in the primary bedroom. Technically, these bedrooms are both primary bedrooms, or at least the other bedroom does have its own ensuite, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. I wanted this bedroom to kind of have a blue color tone theme throughout this space, so I went for a nice light blue on the bedding and going to be adding his and her closet space in here. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough room for like a proper walk-in closet, and since I wasn't using the get together pack for this build, I kind of had to like makeshift my own like walk-in closet area. So we're just going to be adding a mirror and going to be adding a picture frame TV into this space. I wanted this area to be nice, simple, and cozy, and I feel like having all these items I did do those marks, so we are just going to be adding a little bit of decoration onto the side table and going to be adding just a small little gallery wall up above the bed. I wanted to keep this area pretty simple as well, and I didn't want to like repeat any pictures, so I kept both of these gallery walls small, this one above the bed and the one by the back door exit. So we are going to be adding a nice cozy chair into the corner. I feel like I needed to add a little bit more light blue, and so it took a minute to find a light blue chair, but having this chair I found from the base game, I feel like really helped with that coziness, and it just kind of helps fill in the space. So now we are in the primary bathroom. So this is a pretty large bathroom. It does have a shower combo with the tub, and it does have his and hers sinks, so, and a private water closet area. I do change the windows in the water closets or the toilet rooms to be a little bit smaller, just so your Sims have more privacy. And now we're just going to be working on the sink areas. I do have like a smaller area, and then I do have the other sink area has a little bit more counter space, but I feel like having this rug that I choose with this green and blue swatch kind of helps tie in the blue from the bedroom and the shower, but it helps like bring in a nice new vibrant color into the space with the green. So we're just going to be adding a towel rod, and I feel like I added the towel rods in really weird locations in this bathroom, and it's like kind of hard to get to if like this was a house in real life, but technically they're just like a picture in The Sims. Like your Sims aren't going to like go up to the towel bar and like get the towel off the bar. So we're just going to be adding some windows and going to be adding some hand towels and going to be heading into the second bedroom, which I was partially imagining to be for a spoiled child, just because they do have a private ensuite from their bedroom and a similar closet to their parents' bedroom. So we are just going to be adding a desk space underneath the lofted bed. Another reason I was imagining this to be for a spoiled child is because I give this child a giant dollhouse castle, which you'll see momentarily after I add the unicorn. And here is that giant castle that I do make into a nice pink and purple color tones. So we're just going to be adding a few pictures now. I do add this butterfly picture into this child's ensuite to kind of like help bring in the butterfly theme of the bedroom, since the wallpaper I chose does have butterflies on it. So we're just going to be adding some animal pictures. I wasn't sure like how old this sim would be. I was kind of imagining more of a child, but like if they're like more of a teenager, I'm not quite sure. So we're just going to be adding a rug. I end up going with this cute little bunny rug, and going to be adding a tissue box and a few pictures above the bed. So we're just going to be doing a little bit of rearranging, and here's those posters above the bed so that Sim can have a little bit of personality, and going to be finishing up this bedroom, going to be adding some clothes hanging above the dresser. I did just have one hanging thing because it is technically the same hanging clothes as the primary, and I didn't want to have the exact same, so I just added one in a different color swatch. Now we are in the bedroom's ensuite. So this bedroom does have a little bit more of a tighter footprint, but similar to the primary bathroom, this bathroom does have its own water closet or private toilet area. So we're just going to be adding a laundry basket and going to be adding just all the little decorations that the bathroom needs. So we're just going to be adding hand towels and bathroom rugs. I did keep the tile pink in the shower to again kind of help like tie in this space in the bedroom. Like this is a custom home that the parents built possibly. So we are now in the water closet area. I feel so like fancy when I say water closet. I don't know why, but I did make both of them a 2-tile room instead of a 3-tile room. So I feel like this just it felt like a little bit of a waste of space to have like 3 tiles, and so I did just have it be 2 tiles in both areas. So we're just going to be adding all of the decorations, keeping it pretty simple in this bathroom. And now we are heading to the backyard. First thing we're going to be doing is adding a doormat so the dirt and dust can kind of stay out of the house. And we're just going to be first adding a water slide. During the screenshots of the video, you'll see that my sim is demonstrating how to do a water slide, and now we're just going to be adding a little seating area. I do go for a different table, but it's still in this like blue-green color scheme, and we're going to be adding a little barbecue area in this corner with a lot of gardening boxes. I did keep this backyard really simple just to save on space and for you as the player to add your own customizable options for the build. And I did mostly just want to add a slip and slide into this build, so we're just going to be adding some fun flower rugs into the daughter's room, and going to be adding these fun like windmills that look like flowers. So the area does have a little spot for the child with monkey bars. I'm not quite sure if the sim children can do the water slide, and so I do want to make sure like if they are having a summer barbecue that there is something for the children to do, and they can just like go down a line and play on the monkey bars. If you do move this home to a bigger lot, you can obviously add a pool for some more summer fun, back here, having this lot be a 20 by 30, I'm pretty sure, and that was big enough for me. I actually started this build on a smaller lot, a 20x15, and so I didn't want to like overwhelm myself with like feeling like I need to design every little corner. So I'll just leave the rest to you. If you want to play in this home, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is green_rose_sims, and if you want the name of the lot, you can find it down in the description. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. I hope you all have an amazing week. Bye!